Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. Hello there, good people. Welcome to another live stream for your fellow YouTuber, Icelandic Psycho. Now, tonight I want to talk about why I started this YouTube channel, right? Or rather, how it happened. I mean, I've mentioned many times that I have meant to do this for such a long time. You see, I have been going through layouts over and over again in these car sales job. You see, oh, there's no one with us. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, no one wants to tune in. Everyone's fed up with this. Anyhow, you see how it is sometimes that you're always going through the same thing over and over again, going through these dead-end jobs. So I really found myself doing that. The last time I was in anyone, 2 people. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Drop your questions down below. Let's keep this rocking and rolling. Yeah, buddy. The last I had was awful. Another car sales job, and I always really put myself out there. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, you see. So the last job I had ended very bizarrely. I was really like burnt and just trying to figure out a way to get out of that. I was wondering if I should go full time to school or what I should do. Just something to get out of that. I've been trying to do that for such a long time, but I always come back. Back and just Anyhow, there was this one day that let's start from the beginning. I was working with this guy. Who, I mean, he was just working on the same level as me, but he was some 20 years older than me, drinking his beer every day, watching football, that kind of type guy. Probably never seen a film in his life, right? So, and he was always like, Stefan, go out, and put this car in like a little bit more this to the right, and just look, and I was just like, really? Wow. You got to be kidding me. And he really made me feel straight away that he was the boss, even though we were just doing the same thing. He wasn't the boss, but he really wanted me to know that I was going to be doing the shitty things, so he could just sit inside and have be cozy. But this guy, wow. So there was this one day that he asked me like, hey, take this car and take it over there, and so somehow I just said, can't you do it yourself? It just slipped out. And he said yes. And he goes outside and apparently parks the car. And then he comes in again. And with like raging fire, Stefan, when I tell you to do something, you do it. And I was just like, you're kidding me, right? I know he was not kidding. And then he just rambled on, had the biggest royal hissy fit that I have seen in my entire life. That was just wow. So that kind of made my, obviously, I mean, I'm not staying there, and this is not, this was the worst car sale gig that I ever had. And hopefully the last one. But the company that I did this for before this was a little bit better. So yeah, there's one person in right now. If that one person knows how below, ask me some questions, go right ahead. Because it's so weird to just sit here and ramble on. It's just so weird. Somebody just joined in, welcome. Yeah, like I said, I had been going from like this job to this job, and I always try to quit. I signed up to school once a couple of years ago. I was going to go to film studies, but then that film school just went bankrupt. Imagine that. But I had resigned the job. So I had to keep going. I had resigned, so I had to find another job at this other car sale that I just mentioned. Full gig. Yeah, not for me. But I mean, like I said in the title, from car sales to YouTube. But it's of course it's not as easy as that. I had to have another plan. So the plan is going to go to school, have a part-time job, and then try this out for finally, you see. it's wow. Yeah. Been meaning to do this for such a long time. 3 people watching, and we're live. Wondering who these 3 people are. The topic that I wanted to talk about today, I hope that it has come across clearly enough. Yeah, somebody just left. They got fed up with this. That's how it is sometimes. That's life. People go, and people come and they go. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Somebody just liked. Wow, awesome. Always nice to have a like. I mean, that at least that's something that gives me, I know that something is happening. Awesome. Really, really appreciate that. So yeah, it's been like this for 5 years probably, and I've given up so many things that I wanted to do because I was just going to be this hotshot car sales guy. That's not me, you know. When I was 30 years old, 3 years ago, imagine that, yeah, I was gonna go to my last chance to participate in Idol. But I just thought to myself, nah, I mean, I'm just gonna stay in this car sale gig, and I don't want to put myself too much out there, you know. I mean, I have PTSD, so I mean, I guess I have it under control a little bit right now. But I mean, yeah, there was just so many things, I guess, holding me down. But one of those were, of course, that I just thought that just being, suiting up and selling cars was going to be good enough for me. But it's not. It's not who I am. Uh, yeah, my washing machine is acting out. It wants to participate. Yeah, sorry, we're busy here. If you want to come join us, then go right ahead. Hello, psychopath. Yeah. Hello yourself, Mr. Ollie Perry 789. Welcome to the live stream. If you have any question, drop it down below. Somebody else just joined. Wow, that's awesome. And my washing machine apparently wants to join. It's making noises, you see. So basically, I was meeting up with a life coach to try to have him make some decisions for me. What I was going to do next. But this guy at my job, he really helped me make this decision. So I'm glad that I slipped out. That I just said to him, like, I mean, can't you do it yourself? I mean, obviously he couldn't. The Lethal Weapon 5, yay or nay? Obviously it's a yay. That's a film I really want to see. But it seems as of now that it feels like it's not going to happen. I don't know. It's always like up and down. It's been for so many years that I've talked about this. So I guess I mean, with every year that passes, I guess it feels a little bit more absurd. Anywho, any other question for you good people? Let's keep on rocking and rolling. So yeah, like I mentioned, the most royal hissy fit that I ever saw in my life was at my last job. But it helped me realize, of course, this is not the place for me. I mean, I knew that from the first day, but sometimes you just need a little bit more push. Anyway, Ollie Perry 789, Lethal Weapon. I do the Lethal Weapon. Yeah, let's see. I do have the collection right here. Fantastic. If you watch one film, you watch them all. That's how it is. My favorite series, I guess you could say. Riggs, villain to me, Riggs. Hey, Riggs. Well, what a duo! The perfect, cop comedy duo. Those guys just purely awesome. Two people right now. Cheers! Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Waiting for the next question. I'm always so patient, aren't I? For the next question, yeah. My coffee, just waiting around for you people to join in with some good stuffs. There are a new RoboCop coming. Yeah, I heard about that. Wow, that should be interesting. I don't know about that though. Sometimes it's better to just leave a good thing be, because I feel like all of these remakes in modern cinema are just absurd. And all those woke crap as well. I mean, the world that we live in right now, let me tell you. No, but I mean, I think if you're going to remake a film, you should remake a film that was bad, mediocre or whatever, but had a good concept. For example, the film Jumper with Hayden Christensen. That's a cool concept. Not a great film. Remake those films, you see. That's what I feel, anyways. But of course, they want to remake films that, people. I mean, they were talking about remaking Scarface. Forget about that. You don't remake Scarface. You're fucking idiots, But that's how it is, Make money. That's the world, isn't it? Somebody just joined in. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, this is the world we live in. We live in a world where, we're so woke, isn't it? That's pretty much all I have to say about that. No, it isn't. I have lots of things to say about that. But you can't express yourself these days. So even though you have lots of things to say, you have to be so muted about it, your opinions. Yeah. Anywho, next question. Just finished my cup of coffee. Nothing? No. Well, there's got to be more. I trust you guys with that. You're good people. So, I mean, I'm not saying that car sales is the worst job in the world. I'm definitely not. I sometimes had a great time there. I mean, it depends on the company. The company that I had last time was awful. But really, that's one of the most important things in life is the company you have, you see. But for some reason, so many movies, it's like they portray this car sales job as a dead-end job. These people are like going out of these car sales like well, you don't own me, I'm gonna go find myself. I've seen it in so many films. I don't know what that is. Funny, some guy standing there is like, I'm not gonna stay in this car all my life. I don't know why they utilize that so much in films. So I find that funny because obviously I can relate to that. But here I am making videos on YouTube, and we'll see what happens in 2026. Good people. Now, there's two of you left here. Well, I mean, at least that's something. We'll keep going. If there's somebody watching, then of course we will keep on rocking and rolling. Yeah, buddy. But just what's with all the live stream this week? Thanks, Ollie. I guess because it's new, it's exciting. I mean, obviously it's not new to me. So I mean, why wouldn't I? You see. School hasn't started. And today I finished the gym. I did hang out with my best friend. I ate, I showered. So right now, I mean, and my fiance, she's out of town. So what should I do? Should I watch a movie? Yeah, I would usually do that. I mean, they're showing Hot Fuzz in the cinema right now, like a party screening. But I decided to talk to you guys. So yeah, what's up with the live streams? You don't like the live streams, huh? Well, I just think it's fun, At least when it's new and exciting, it's fun. So yeah, like I mentioned in the video yesterday, which I don't know if you checked out, that I think the channel updates for 2026 might have quite a few live streams upcoming. I guess. I mean, it's a lot of fun, isn't it? So I was in this store earlier today. I bought this book called Simple Ideas Explained. How do you explain a simple idea? I guess we'll see. Anyway, trying to find some good books about movies to read, but there are not so many in Iceland. I watched, a list yesterday of some good movies about film, good books about film criticism. None of them were available in Iceland. What's up with that? That's absurd. Speaking of Iceland, here's some films that I want to show you. This is my favorite film from Iceland. It's called Svartur Lake, which means Black's Game. This is about the underworlds of Iceland. It takes place in the late 90s and the early 2000s. It's a gangster film, drug film. So it's based on things that really happened. Fantastic film. And here we have Lion, The Devil's Island, a film about this cool guy that goes to America and comes back, and then of course he's a cool guy because he's been in America. And that's pretty much all. That's pretty much what it's about. And then here are some films a trilogy of films about these two idiots. It's basically Dumb and Dumber, but it was made in the 80s from Iceland. So 10 years before Dumb and Dumber came out. Yeah, enjoy your own conclusion, right? Anywho, oh, there's only one left. Oh, that's so sad because they're not interesting. interested in Icelandic cinema. Anywho, Luckily is my favorite of the bunch. Policeman's Life, New Life, Farmer's Life. Yeah. Yeah, they should make a new one. Anyways, if this one person that's with me right now wants to ask a question, then go ahead. Make my day. But I mean, if not, then I guess I have in some ways been able to express myself. Haven't I? Okay, two people have jumped in. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. Was just talking about some Icelandic cinema. A few films here. So I already expressed my story about how I'm this YouTuber, but I haven't been meaning to do that for so many years. But now I'm looking for a question down below, and anxiously waiting, so excited. Best biopic. Let me think now, Ollie. Best biopic. Let's see. I think I'm going to go over my list of favorite films here. Okay, that might be. Sometimes the first thing that comes to mind is the right answer, but I usually go with that. So I mean, I'm gonna say it is Deadwood. What a film! One of the greatest films by Tim Burton. It's in black and white, but it's one of those films. Even for people that don't like films in black and white, I feel like that's a film that they could still watch. It's just about this career of. I mean, that's of course. I mean, obviously, for someone like me and you that's very interested in cinema, that's gotta be a film that excites you. And one other film that comes to mind is where is the trigger? Here it is. Amadeus. A film that I used to watch quite a lot when I was younger. I haven't seen it in 10 years, but nice film. So it's about it's about Mozart, but it's mostly about this the bad guy. The guy that the bad guy who made the downfall of Mozart. So, anyways, Icelandic movies could be a great topic. Frank Yo 6403. Yeah, I do think so as well. That I might do top 10 Icelandic films, my favorite anyway. But I don't think that top 10s are good for live streams. I did one yesterday. Didn't really seem to go so well. But you just gotta try out. That's what life is about. If you don't try, nothing happens, right? Anywho, only 2 people now. Oh, so sad. Well, I mean, like I say, there's somebody here with us, and then we're all good, aren't we? Well. So, Ollie, are you not a fan of live streams? You never answered that. 2 people just joined in. Welcome to the live stream. This is from Iceland, Icelandic Psycho. I mean, I wonder if you guys realize the name is. I mean, I guess it's quite obvious. I mean, why is the? I mean, I'm Iceland, but I mean, it's also Travis, American Psycho, Icelandic Psycho. Yeah, I guess. I mean, but well, so I mean, I think it's a good name. What do you guys think? Well, at least that's what I feel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anywho, next question. Yeah, let's go. Let's get another one. Let's get another question going in. Mm-hmm. Let's get another question. Yes, I think this is particularly interesting watching an Icelander go slowly insane. Okay, well, yeah, I agree with you. I agree. That's a very fascinating concept. So, yeah, I think this is something that we should keep up. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as it's for you, then we'll keep on rocking and rolling, won't we? Yeah, they should make a film of that. The Icelandic Psycho slowly going insane in cinemas near thee. right? Yeah, I do feel so. I do think that's a very fascinating concept. The aesthetic cycle. Welcome to the live stream, you person that just joined in. Tell us something in the comments down below. Inspire us with something, you know. Oh yeah, my calendar. Let's see what's new on the calendar. So yesterday it said that my life was upside down, but today let's see what it says. Smiling on the outside, slowly melting on the inside. Well, that's funny. That's kind of true to the concept that you just talked about, Oli, isn't it? Yeah, it is a little bit. At least that's what I think. Anyway, welcome to the live stream. Patiently waiting for the next question while I slowly but surely go insane. I mean, according to Ollie's, anyway. Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. Yeah. You could have polls every now and then about best movies of all time, best movies of a certain genre, plenty of possibilities. I mean, obviously, there are lots of possibilities to do. I mean, so many ideas. Right now, I have a poll going on with, what is the next video that you guys would like to see? So vote for the next video. Obviously, the four options, the four options that I have. Favorite Arnie film: Total Recall, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, I do like the first Terminator, of course. Predator. Terminator 2 is fine, but it's I prefer the first one. Even though it's very clever to use him as the hero in the second film to throw the concept, But I just like this perfectly made thriller, the first Terminator. But Total Recall is my favorite, absolutely. What is yours? Directed by Paul Verhoeven. Total Recall. At least that concept is just, wow, love it. They remade it in 2012 with Colin Farrell. It's fine. Action film, a little bit all over the place, but the first one, fantastic action film. Sci-fi action film. Your favorite Arnie films are two. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very common answer. So, I mean, obviously, I would have to, Taylor Lay, favorite romantic comedy, Bridget Jones. Yeah, Bridget Jones. Gotta love Bridget Jones. But my fiance has been showing me lots of romantic comedies, but I'm fine with that. I watch them. Me Before You. I don't know. I'm not sure if you could call that a romantic comedy. It's a sad film, very very sad. It just it's Netflix right now. I'm not sure I could watch it again. Yeah. Anywho. Oh, some more people just joined in. Wow, makes me so happy. Makes my day. So much joy. So much happiness. All of these people joining in to watch me go slowly insane. Slowly but surely. Yeah. Movie night. The Aesthetic Psycho movie night. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, like I said, favorite Arnie films oftentimes are Terminator 1 and 2. So, I mean, that's a common answer and a good one, I suppose. I prefer the first one. I also prefer the first Alien film. And I feel that probably 60% of people prefer Aliens and probably 80% of people prefer Terminator 2 over the first film, that is. But I don't know. I guess it just, those films, the first films, Terminator and for the first Aliens are just superb thrillers, such simple, perfection, more people joined in. Wow, so happy. Makes my day. Go ahead, make my day. Next question, you good people. Let's keep on rocking and rolling now, shall we? Oh, lost two of you there. Got too excited. Yeah, these live streams. It's like when you're holding a baby and you're trying your best to not let it go, not let it cry. That's the same. Oh, lost, wow, four of you there. You see, it's hard. Do you do 4K? What do you mean by 4K? I do 4Ks, yes. I mean, I certainly do. Now I just bought LG OLED 77 inches, last year, and upgraded my 4K player. I used to own the original 4K player, but from Samsung, the first one that came out on the market. But I upgraded into a Panasonic 820, which is open to all regions. Movie recommendations that isn't from Iceland or USA. Okay, I recommend British horror films, the Hammer films. Awesome, they just got cult classic written all over them. And then there's a Spanish film that has stayed with me since I was very, very young. My mom had it on VHS. It's called Deprisa, Deprisa. It's about these teenagers that, just grew up in some slum and, just don't have anything going for them, just, robbing stuff. And yeah, like a fascinating sort of almost coming of age film about these teenagers just trying to make their way in life by robbing banks and such. You gotta do what you gotta do. Fantastic film. Have you seen With Nail and I? No, I have not seen With Nail and I. With nail? I have nails, on my hand, on my toes as well. No, I have not seen that. So yeah, those are some movie recommendations outside of the USA and Iceland. Deprisa, Deprisa. From Spain. Film directed by what's the name of the director? Carlos Saura. Yeah. Great music in that film as well. I used to be singing that, all the time when I was a kid. Oh, well, only 2 left. That's so sad. Well, like I said, you gotta keep the enthusiasm going. It's just, M. Night Shyamalan movie favorite. Okay, let's see now. I like The Sixth Sense, Split, and Signs the most. But choosing between those films, wow. Sixth Sense is the first film that I saw from him, that is. Just saw Signs recently again. It's better than I remembered. So those 3. I guess I can't decide which one out of these 3. Unbreakable was cool. Village was okay. Now, very disappointed with the ending of the trilogy. What was it called? The ending of the Unbreakable trilogy. This epic battle all of a sudden just ends with him drowning in a small puddle of water. What's up with that? Ending your trilogy like that. What's wrong with you? And night, worst film you've. Wow, my washing machine is acting out again. It wants to join us. Well, come along there. Anywho, worst film you've ever seen. Legally Blonde 2. At least, I would never watch it again, so I can't say. But in my memory, I liked the first one, and I will admit. When I was excited to see the second one. Went to see it with my mom in the cinema, but I've never in my life been as disappointed with a film. And we were driving on the way home. I was just in wrath, just. But my mom tried to cheer me up by saying, "Well, at least now you've seen the worst film ever made." So yeah, that's something that always stayed with me. So yeah, according to her, it was the worst film ever made. So I guess that's that. But speaking of, bad films, I do like some bad movie nights with films that are so bad that they're good. No doubt. One of the good ones is Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Best historically accurate movie. Wow. I don't know. That's such a big question. Because, what is historically accurate? I don't know. There's so many films based on real events. I can't say for sure. I would just need to take some, time, make an essay of that. Zoolander 2. One very interesting topic is, what is the best sequel to a film? Superman 2 and Psycho 2 would definitely come to mind. Okay, yeah. Superman 2 is, for my money, better than the first film. it just builds so perfectly on the first film. But I haven't seen the Donner cut though. I own it. I have a Superman collection here with all of the Superman films, the anthology. They have the original Donner cut here and extended version from the original film. But I mean, I only saw them once, so I need to check it out and reevaluate that opinion, I guess. It's been Psycho 2 is a great sequel. That's an underrated sequel. So, I mean, when we're talking about best sequels, Frankie Owe, I mean, that's best sequel. Well, that's a good question. I mean, Dark Knight is a great sequel. I mean, Dark Knight Rises as well. I like Dark Knight Rises. Best Kubrick. Okay, Ollie. Yeah, you see, Kubrick, he did a lot of gifts for cinema. One of the greatest directors, influential directors, period. That's it. So his greatest gifts to cinema, I think, are Barry Lyndon, The Shining, 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange. If I go by my memory, I think A Clockwork Orange would be my answer for the number one. But I mean, 2001 is such an epic film of evolution. I mean, in a way, can you make a better film than that? I don't know. And then there's The Shining, which, I mean, of course, it's a more simple. It's a bit more of a simple film based on Kubrick, based on the novel by just in this one hotel. But I mean, this hotel and the atmosphere is just like, it feels like you've been there. You see? And then there's Barry Lyndon, one of the best shot films. The cinematography there is just 10 out of 10. But then there's also Ice White Shot, The Killing, which is a film that's very ahead of its time. Feels like something that's probably was inspired by someone like Tarantino. Let's see, any other questions here? Best historically accurate movie could be Schindler's List. Yes, it could be Schindler's List. It could be, no doubt. I mean, I see what you mean. It's just, I wasn't there, you see. So I'm not sure. I mean, historically accurate, I mean, they made, for example, they made so many films about Jesus. For example, The Last Temptation of the Christ. I think that's a great film, but that's not a film that I would watch on Christmas because I feel like it's supposedly some blasphemy, but that's just me being, what's the word for it? Yeah, anyway. I'm looking for that word. What's that word? Superstitious. That's just me being superstitious. But I don't know. We weren't there. We don't know. You see? Maybe The Temptation of the Christ is the most accurate film ever made. Probably not, right? Anywho, get another question here. Good people. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Yeah, I got another like. Oh, tells me that something's working here. Live with you, good people. Yeah. Let's see now. So here's the Stanley Kubrick collection, Visionary Filmmaker collection. He did the first version of Lolita, which is cool, but I prefer the remake with Jeremy Irons. Speaking of which, I mean, I think that character in the Lolita film, the remake, could be one of the if you would do a top 10 best movie villains in history, I think he could be up there. I mean, this is a guy molesting a child, and somehow you don't really hate him. I mean, when you realize what's when you think of what's happening, you do. But somehow Jeremy Irons just plays him in a way I don't know how to explain that. It's so weird. It's such a weird story. Ugh. Yeah. Anywho, did you like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Did you know Leatherface actor Gunnar Hansen was from Iceland? Gunnar Hansen, of course. Gunnar Hansen. Yeah, I know Gunnar Hansen. He's done quite a few things. Did I like it? I mean, it's okay. It's not one of my favorite, franchises. Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just something to put on if you're in a certain kind of mood, I guess. Yeah. Anywho, but on Kubrick, his film. What's it called? The film with Peter Sellers, the one with a bomb. What's it? Doctor Strangelove. And then there's also the Full Metal Jacket. I don't care for those films. I even prefer Fear and Desire. If anything, probably. Musicals are also very interesting to discuss. Grease, Saturday Night Fever, Flashdance, Footloose, the Mamma Mia movies. Which of those are best? Something that comes in from Franco and PMC just joined us, one of my best subscribers. Welcome to the live stream. Frank, musicals are not something that I have a hard time with musicals, but there are a few films that I do like. That one of them is actually Grease. Yes, I do like Grease. I have that in the collection. And then there is La La Land. I do like that one as well. And then there is a couple of films from Iceland, Með allt á hreinu og Í takt við tímann, which are, in tune with the time, you could say, and with everything on point. I guess if you have to translate those films. But yeah, musicals, I have a hard time with musicals. For example, I once started watching Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis, which is a fantastic comedy actor. But I gave up 20 minutes in. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. It was too much. So yeah. So I don't expect musicals to be a topic of discussion in any of my videos anytime soon, anyway. But I mean, thanks for the suggestions. Anyhow. Any other good question from you, good people? We have some nice people here with us tonight. We have Ollie Perry, we have Taylor Lay, we have Frank Joey, we have PMC. Thanks for tuning in tonight on Icelandic Psycho's fourth live stream in 48 hours. Imagine that. So it's quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah, but that's how it is sometimes. You just gotta keep on rocking and rolling. Patiently waiting for the next question. Somebody else just joined in. Gotta keep them excited, Gotta do something to not make them leave. It's like holding a baby. To don't cry. PMC, yeah, my PMC, one of my greatest followers, has a question. Do you have nice movie theaters there, and do you go often? We have a few. There is one that's called Egilshöll, like the Palace of Egil. Yeah, so there are a few good cinemas here, and then there's one called Bio Paradís, like Cinema Paradise. You see what I mean? Which is downtown, and it shows some niche films, not those Hollywood films that are being shown in the other theaters. Some films that are from some films from Europe, and some under the radar films, and then they also have some party screenings on other films, and that's a quite nice theater as well. Favorite Spielberg, Ollie? That would have to be, I think, Jaws, because I mean, it's just such a fantastic film from beginning to end. But he has many films that are fantastic from beginning to end. There's Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's Catch Me If You Can. Those are probably my three favorite films from Spielberg. A great character journey in Catch Me If You Can. Feels like a film that could have been done by Martin Scorsese, but then it would have been completely different for sure. Now, Raiders of the Lost Ark is just such an epic adventure. Harrison Ford, really nails that role. I mean, what can I say? But Jaws is just this perfect adventure thriller. And that scene on the boat with a monologue from Robert Shaw, Quint, fantastic. Just my favorite movies of all time. Wow, PMC, thanks for sharing. It's one of my, it's probably in my top 50, I would have to say. I own it here on 4K, Dolby Vision. Looks fantastic. Just, what a film. What a film. There are 3 people with us right now. I mean, sometimes there are 2, sometimes there are 3, sometimes there are 5, 7, 9, 10, it's just, people come and go, that's life. Anyways, yeah, I mean, Spielberg is, I see Frank Joey has favorite Carpenter movies. He's my favorite horror movie director. Some of his movies are underrated, like Vampires 998, absolutely classic. The Vampires, okay, The Vampires I have not seen. Sorry about that. John Carpenter film, of course, it's The Thing. One of the greatest films ever made. Yes, I did say that. I mean, at least in that genre, no doubt. It has to be the thing. What a film! The way that the film starts, there's a helicopter following this dog, shooting at him, and they're just like, "What's wrong with you people?" But then we really get to know why. Fantastic beginning, and also a fantastic end. I mean, I don't want to spoil it so much if people haven't seen it, but you know what I'm talking about. They're just sitting there, waiting for a guy to apparently, you know what I mean. Such a film. I loved vampires as well. Yeah, PMC, you seem to be, pretty on those horror films. So I mean, yeah, PMC midnight movies. I mean, that kind of sounds like, yeah. I mean, from what I've heard and seen, and you also seem to be very fond of Bond, so we definitely have that in common. But I like more of those old school horror films, like Jaws, The Thing, and some of those B movies you see. But John Carpenter, yeah, I have his first film, Assault on Precinct 13. I saw it once. I didn't think it was great, but the soundtrack is really great, and you can see the potential there. It's a nice little film, small, small film. But I guess coming to think of it, there are probably quite a few films that I haven't seen from Carpenter. Escape from New York, I have here. That's also a very nice concept. Nice film with Kurt Russell and Donald Pleasance. Always nice to see Donald Pleasance. Frankie, The Thing is one of Carpenter's greatest films, among the best of all time. Yeah, I mean, it has to be, right? I mean, atmosphere there is a 10 out of 10. The star of the film, the atmosphere. It has to be, right? The Fog, Halloween, of course, Halloween. No, duh. I mean, that film is, yeah, it just does everything right. Just from scene to scene. It's just, it's like if you're writing a book about how to make a film, it perfectly flows from this next scene to the next scene. And of course the music, the directing, yeah, so good. PMC says Carpenter's great. I also love the fantasy films that Ray Harryhausen did the stop motion animation for. Which one is that? Which one is that? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so awesome to have you good people here with me tonight. So much fun. Really appreciate that. So any other topics that you people want to discuss? PMC, Clash of the Titans. Okay. Oh, sounds like something to check out, isn't it? Dun, dun, dun. Anyhow, any other good questions or topics that you good people want to discuss? Yeah, back on your musicals, Frankie. I mean, you say Saturday Night Fever, Flashdance, Footloose, the Mamma Mia movies. Have I seen any of those? I don't know. Footloose, I think I saw 50 of it. That's probably a film I could watch, if I remember correctly. Mamma Mia, I mean, I've seen it like mostly in parts. I mean, it's like, not my genre. Anyway, best Nolan film. Yeah, okay. I think that's an easy answer for me. That's Interstellar. That is to me one of the best films I've seen. And if I were making a movies of the, let's say top 20 best films ever made, it would make it onto that list. I mean, as of now, probably very highly anyways, at least based on my last experience with that film. Just the concept and the music and everything is, everything is on point. It's just such an experience. And when a movie makes you go on such a big ride and you're just so emotionally drained, if a movie can make you experience that in the way that I did, I think that's, and it is. What do you think of Interstellar? That's my answer. He did, PMC says he did Jason and the Argonauts and the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Do you like fantasy movies? Yes, I do like fantasy movies, adventure fantasy films. Yeah, for sure, no doubt. Inception is my favorite novel. Yeah, Inception is also a great film. So I mean, that's not a wrong answer. I mean, Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar, fantastic films. Tenet is the worst film that I saw from Christopher Nolan. It's just, I mean, I can understand what he was trying to do, but I just think he failed with trying to make the film be smart. I just found it very very convoluted, and I could also just figure out pretty soon what he was trying to do, the plot of the film. I mean, it was, I guess, something that was supposed to be a surprise. It wasn't a surprise to me at all. I guess maybe because I just at that time, at that point, knew I just know how he thinks a little bit after seeing his films. I just think, yeah. What is your favorite movie based on Stephen King's novel? Mine are The Shining, Misery, and The Storm of the Century. Great question, Frank Joey. Favorite films on Stephen King novels? I mean, Stand By Me is one of my favorite films. I mean, it's a film that I saw very young. It stayed with me since I was maybe 9 years old or something. My mom recorded it on VHS tape because she thought that this would be a film that I would really like. And I just watched it over and over and over again. It's a simple little film, but somehow it's something that I just stayed with me for such a long time. It's my happy, one of those happy place films. And then of course there's The Shining, fantastic haunted house film. I mean, is there any better? No. And then there's Shawshank Redemption, of course. The Green Mile. The It movies are also great. Yeah. It movies are. Yeah, I mean, I have not seen the film with Tim Curry, but I do like the one from 2017 and the sequel. I thought the sequel was pretty good. I think that it did not get such a rap from the critics. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was definitely long, but I don't know. I don't think it was over long. Anyway, best Tarantino is a question from Ollie Perry 789. Inglorious Bastards. I mean, Pulp Fiction is number one for a lot of people. Probably, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, then I would probably have said Pulp Fiction. I might even have told you that I thought Pulp Fiction was better than Forrest Gump and Shawshank Redemption 10 years ago. Wow, what is wrong with me? But I mean, I guess it's just the way things age. Pulp Fiction, I mean, the script and how he layers the story, of course, was very new at the time. And Pulp Fiction is a great film. It would probably be my number two. I don't know. I would have to rewatch all of his films, but Tarantino is one of my favorite directors. Definitely. I mean, he always makes good films. He's very consistent, and you can just see his love of cinema through his films. It's very fascinating. I mean, he himself is getting very criticized as a person. I guess he's he's going a little bit nuts, isn't he? But that's how it is sometimes. We all get a little mad sometimes. Top 3 Clint Eastwood movies from PMC. Great question, PMC. Love that. So are you talking about the films that he directed? I have a list somewhere in my computer. I already ranked all of the films that I've seen from Clint Eastwood, which are, basically all of them almost. I mean, I guess with 90% of them. And he was, let's see, okay, here it is. So I have Unforgiven, Mystic River, The Bridges of Madison County, and The Changeling. I mean, you asked for top 3, but I guess those are top 4. I guess I would have to go back and see which, how I would place them. I'm probably Unforgiven at number 1, right? Let's see, Unforgiven. Yeah, I don't know how I would place the other ones, but I guess it's pretty close. I have it all here. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of times he directs and stars. Yeah, he does that quite a lot of times. And as you know, I think A Perfect World is one of those underrated films that he directs and stars in as well. I'm pretty sure I have that early on the list that I made. Where is it? Number 7, yeah. At least, this is something I put together quite quick. I have so many lists in my computer that I've already done, but I haven't made a video out of it yet. Too many favorites with Eastwood to mention. Nearly all of them. Yeah, I really like Clint Eastwood. The films that he directs, acts in. Yeah, really a big fan of Mr. Eastwood. Play Misty for Me is the first film that he directed. It's released in 1971, and he did that film for free. You see, he just told the studio that he would do it for free because he knew he had to prove himself. And I think he did a really good job with that. Nice little thriller, like a 7 out of 10. Do you like the good, the bad, and the ugly and Dirty Harry? Of course I do. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is such an epic film. I mean, I remember the score in that film. This is a score that I had known since I was very very young. But then seeing the film in my 20s, and I'm just looking, wow, this is from this film. I never knew. So yeah, I mean that's probably, I think I probably gave that film a 10 out of 10. So if I was including that, I mean I was just talking about the films that he directed. My washing machine setting out again. It really wants to participate. I don't know what's wrong with it, but yeah, that is definitely a film that I would probably. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be number one. I mean, if we're counting that, and Dirty Harry, yeah, Dirty Harry. I think that the second film is probably the best. Magnum Force. I don't know, but the first film is pretty good as well. Might need to. I actually bought the first film on 4K last year. Watched it again. Very very nice 4K release. Oh, only 2 people now. I guess there were many more just some minutes ago, but I just I stopped looking on the screen. I just kept talking. So I mean, I guess that's progress, isn't it? Ollie says, "Does your washing machine have a favorite?" Well, yeah. Its favorite film is The Rubber. You see, they met, and had a baby. Where's Rubber? This Rubber, yeah, here it is. Rubber, the tire. This tire and my washing machine, before I bought my washing machine, apparently man and had a baby. Imagine that. And now it's just rolling around somewhere in Iceland. I don't know where. Nobody knows where. It just, I hear something bad happen to people because of some tire, and it just keeps on rolling. I don't know. It's over. Every now and then I look for it, but maybe it's looking for me. That can't be good. Oh. Anywho, any other good question from you, good people? Yeah, we're having a good time here, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, one left, but there are 3 of us now. So, I mean, another one joined in. Wow, I'm so excited. Well, now, yes, my washing machine. Yeah, it does have a favorite film. That is Rubber. Did you guys see that film? What a film! And if you ever see that rubber, that tire somewhere, then let me know. I mean, because it's a relative of the, it's his baby. Gotta find it someday. Have they ever filmed a movie in Iceland? What do you mean by that, PMC? There are many films from Iceland, obviously. So yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, or before you tuned in, I mentioned some films from Iceland. My favorite film being Svartur Lake, Black Skein, a drug film that is based on things that really happened. So maybe a topic, a top 10 list or something, a video that I could make later is about films from Iceland. That could be a good topic of discussion, perhaps, if you're interested in that. I mean, why not? I mean, I am from Iceland, so like Hollywood going there. Yeah, okay, see what I mean. I mean, yeah, Iceland is apparently getting more and more, a big thing. It's a surreal little island. So yeah, there was actually a question on my live stream yesterday about if or the other one, I remember, if I was fed up with seeing Iceland in all those films and shows now. So yeah, that is a thing, actually, a relatively new thing, I believe. But yeah, definitely. So I mean, everyone wants to go and show Iceland. I mean, there's the Batman Begins. You've seen Batman Begins, the beginning in Batman Begins, for example. That's in Iceland, where he's supposed to be in Tibet, right? He's not in Tibet. He's in Iceland. Tintin in Tibet. Bruce Wayne in Tibet. No, he was not. He was in Iceland. So, for example, that's a film that was shot in Iceland. The first film that comes to mind. So many films, definitely. So yeah, make sure to check that out. But I mean, so many times when I'm watching a movie, I can just see that. That's from Iceland. Most of the times I'm right, because Iceland has just this specific atmosphere somehow. So yeah, Interstellar, Oblivion, Walter Milk. Of course, yeah, of course. How can I forget? The Incredible Life of Walter Theo, Interstellar, yeah, of course, Interstellar. Christopher Nolan, he's pretty obsessed with Iceland. I mean, why wouldn't he be? Yeah. There was a nice insight from our friend Frank Joey. So, we've been here now for 55 minutes. Wow. Okay, somebody else has joined in. I mean, I guess we gotta keep going, right? I mean, at least as long as you guys have any question, then I guess we have to keep going. Let's put me more in the spotlight now, shall we? I don't know. Where should I have it? Here? I don't know. No, I'm sorry. I can't decide. Yeah, maybe just like okay. Anyways, if there was any other good question, then I'm anxiously waiting for you guys to tune in and tell me or ask me something that you want to. Do you collect books as well? No, I don't really collect books. I do, however, as of this moment, I have been collecting the Karl Barks Donald Duck collections. So that's what I'm doing right now. I love to read me some Donald Duck, but I don't really I don't collect books in the same way I do movies. But I do have quite a few books and magazines and stuff. Mostly Donald Duck, as you can see. Yeah. And then some nerdy stuff, something, that I keep from. Oh, so many people just dropped out because they weren't interested in that. That's how it is sometimes. But yeah, Donald Duck. Love me some Donald Duck. I mean, who wouldn't, right? So, before I leave you guys, I guess there are two of us here, three with me. So I mean, if you want to keep going, that's up to you. It's all up to you. It was up to those two people in the live stream. What would happen next in cinemas near thee? Yeah, somebody else just joined in. So I mean, we can't just quit. We're not quitters, are we? Probably not, right? No, I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that. I intend to believe that we are all good people wanting to stay here in the live stream with Icelandic psycho Stephen Eagle from Iceland. Do you ever watch curling? What is curling, PMC? PMC Midnight Movies. What is curling? Should I Google? I'm gonna wait for you to answer the curling. I mean, that's probably a film, right? I don't know. Haven't heard of it. Have not heard of it. Nope, I have not. Sorry about that. Terribly sorry. It's a sport on ice. No. Okay. No, I don't really watch sports. Football is one of the most tedious things that I can imagine watching. It's just like watching some painting go dry. There are just some guys there kicking a ball for 90 minutes plus. Nothing happens. Maybe one goal. Maybe some two guys trip over. Or pretend to trip over. Whatever. Why do people watch football? Such a horrible thing. Just one of the most awful things in the world is football. So no, sports are not something that I regularly watch. No, I'm afraid not, my friend. I am afraid not. So as long as you good people are here watching, I will stay. Stay. Somebody just joined in, waiting for the next question, patiently, staring at the camera. What time is it there now? It's 21:29, so 30 minutes past 9. So I would assume that 5 hours ahead of you, right? At least 4, probably 5, right? Yeah, because you're in Canada. Yeah. Well, 2 of us now. There was 4. There were 3. Watching the screen again, looking at the screen, seeing the participants in the live stream. Stream. So, any other questions before we call it a night, good people? What do you think? We'll see. We'll give it some 20 seconds and see if anybody wants to join in with a question tonight. 4 people watching the Icelandic Psycho live stream. All things movies. Or maybe we can just stare at each other. I will stare, at the camera, and you will stare at me. I mean, 2 can play that game, right? You bet. Yeah, but I gotta look at the screen and see if anyone's typing. So I mean, I guess that's kind of game, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, some people are joining in, so I mean, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep the enthusiasm going, keep the questions going, keep on rocking and rolling to the live stream. Patiently waiting for the next question to keep this live stream rocking and rolling. Yet got too excited, one of them left, but there's still 4 people here. So I mean, 4 people. 4 people that can ask questions. That's quite a lot, isn't it? I feel like a teacher in class waiting for some people to participate. So now I know how that feels. It's a real feeling to experience that, to be on the other side of this desk. You see, it must be so surreal to be a teacher sometimes. Wait for some people to ask you a question, and then they just don't. they just nothing. Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, somebody joined in. I mean, well, let's say. I mean, let's get serious now. Before I leave you guys, let's do. Okay, there I can see the seconds. Okay, let's do 30 seconds now and see if anyone of you wants to join in with another question before we call it a night tonight. 30 seconds. It's 20 seconds now, so we'll see if anybody wants to join in with a question in these 15 seconds that are left. 10 seconds left for you to ask a question before I end the stream. Wow, the pressure is real. Well, thanks for joining in tonight. Had a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate every one of you, my subscribers. Icelandic Psycho, over and out.